Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I wasn't asked why I'm convinced Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block. On a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At Enchain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts. Basically ones that can run operating systems. That's all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. Good afternoon, everybody. It looks like we are live at 5. Just made it in time. Fantastic. Hope everybody's having a good day. Let's get on with it. Welcome to Satoshi TV. I'm your host Satoshi. The reason we broadcast on Twitch is because YouTube have already taken down 2 of my channels, and then they prevented me from editing my shows and deleting episodes. So now we broadcast on Twitch, upload the trailer or partial episode or whatever onto YouTube, provided I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it to give them no reason to ban it. And then the full episode goes up onto Streamanity, where you can set your own fee according to how you judge the quality of your content, because it's your content that you can now get paid for in the form of a micropayment, which means you're more likely to earn far more money on platforms like that than you are these large corporations who rely on selling your data in order to attract advertising revenue, of which they take a huge portion of, leaving you with just the scraps, which means you have to attract an awful lot of business for them in order to get paid just a little bit. Whereas now, you can just simply get paid a little bit on this platform. And people will probably not mind paying for it, because it means they're not having to give up their data. They're not having to be monitored by these large corporations who put cookies on your computer and track your keyboard on your mouse and find out where you're logging into and what you're looking at and all of that shit. But it's going to take intelligence to realize that, because like I said, we've discovered that the majority of the population are really not, or what should we say, intellectually challenged, and probably don't understand that they're being tracked and monitored, and don't understand the significance of it. But it will come, because where there are clever people, smart people follow, and then the rest of the population follow them. That is how it works. So let's jump in straight to these figures, because this is where the gossip is. This is literally like a never-ending soap opera. I love it. So long as you understand what these figures represent, of which I shall explain. So we have got, again, I'm only interested in Bitcoin. I'm not interested in these 2 shitcoins in the slightest. Hash rate 0.4%, network nodes 2.3, transactions 32, block size 43.1. Right, let's see who's mining what. Can we see any Binance? No. Look at this. Look at this. Tal, Hathor, Matterpool, good. Unknown, SV Pool, look at that. Oh, via BTC, again, you know, sketchy, don't know about them, but look at that. That is all genuine Bitcoin enterprises mining on the genuine Bitcoin, which is fantastic. So we'll look at here, Tal 7.2 straight away, 17.5. You know, Michael Saylor, if you're watching my show for the first time, there's your big blocks on the blockchain. Yeah, 5.4. Let's see what we've got on Bcrash. Oh, they've got a 5.4. They'll be lucky to top that. Oh, 5.5. Yeah, didn't think so. And Coolcoin, there are no big blocks on here, Michael Saylor. You shitcoin whore. Selling your soul to shitcoins. It's outrageous. In fact, let's just go into more details for lulz. Because I checked it this morning, and the last time Binance had mined a block was more than 10 hours ago. So let's just see if we can spot them. BTC. Oh, look. 13 hours ago. They've not been able to mine a block for 13 hours. Like this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the real hash war. This is what it's about. They're just like, we want some of that Bitcoin. It's like, no, you ain't getting any. Because all you're going to do is use it for dumping and shorting because you want to carry on with your bucket shop of a scam exchange is what they want. So let's have a look at this. It's 7 days. So look, Binance was on there 7 days. They're 2.2%. And look, they've upped it to 9%. That will be down significantly because they've already gone for 13 hours without mining a block. And this is in 24 hours. So this will still have the hash rate on that they had yesterday. But I suspect that will be reducing significantly. I mean, this is brilliant stuff because we've got Tal mining the big blocks really efficiency, Hathor scooping up the tiny little blocks with just like tiny amounts of bullshit data in them, which is what Binance really want. And then they're just like, oh right, well what can we get now? Kind of like parking ourselves in the middle of the road. Even sort of Mempool, Norpool are specializing, as is Matterpool. What are Binance going to do? They're just like, plug hash rate in, get Bitcoin. No, mate, that is not the way this works anymore. But you wouldn't know that because you're a shit coiner. That's why we call you shit coiners. Shit coiners with shitful brains. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. And check it out. So it's still a 12.6% more profitable to mine on Coolcoin. 75,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin. So the Coolcoin chain. Yeah, not really bothered about what that's grown by. Yeah. So anyway, looking forward to seeing that. Bcrash dropping off a cliff there. See what's going on here. Yeah, as we've just seen, profitability. All right. Okay, this is where the gossip is. So we've got global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours. Got Binance turning up the heat. Binance and Antpool, BTC.com, good grief, pushing F2 pool down into 3rd position. So let's see where that hash rate has gone. So look at that, the largest miner on Coolcoin. Having a look at the Tal. No, there is no Tal. Huobi with 8.33% on Coolcoin. Wow, and Bitmain, which is Antpool and BTC.com in 3rd and 4th. Oh, big players. Oh, look at this. So if you ask me, I think Binance have been trying to focus their hash rate on Bitcoin, and because they can't figure out how to do it, it slipped onto Bcrash. Because there is no point in mining 37% of that absolute piece of dog shit. Like literally no reason at all. And then Hathor here with 25%. So that will be keeping the profitability at bay. Look, 10% more profitable to mine on Coolcoin than it is Bcrash. So yeah, Hather on there for sheer spite and no other reason. And yeah, this is Bitcoin. So again, like I said, tomorrow I'm expecting to see Binance. Well, I'm expecting not to see Binance basically. So yeah, really good to see Matterpool on there. Oh, Poolin's on there. I'm not too sure about them, but yeah, looking healthy. Because as we know, it's all about fending off the short positions that these shitcoiners have got open on Bitcoin. So let's have a quick look, see if it's made any difference yet. I doubt it, because they're only just starting to squeal, because they haven't got any supplies of Bitcoin, which is why they're wanting some now. Look at this. So yeah, no real change in the short ratio yet. 83% short to that'd be 17% long, really. Wow. So these are all the heavy shorts, and these are all the longs along the bottom. You know, the people who are in the know, shall we say? So quite looking forward to keeping an eye on that metric as time goes on. Let's check out Bitcoin Blocks Live, see if we can see anything on there that might be of interest. Howdy people, just starting the show again. Sorry about that, had a technical issue. It happens now and again, but we are now back on it with Bitcoin Blocks Live working in front of our very eyes. And as I was literally just going on about Peter McCormack, I am now going to try and find the section of his interview that he's just done with Dominic Frisby to laugh at it, because I find it absolutely hilarious. Because the guy literally knows nothing. In fact, if he knew that he knew nothing, that would be something. But the fact is, he doesn't. Here we go. So it should be what Coolcoin did. Here we go. Got it right. Let's play this. Right. See what happens.
I'm with you.
You're with me.
Really, are you, Dominic? Traitor. You know, he even appeared at a CoinGeek conference in London when I was there, so I got chatting to him for the first time. Yeah, he's written this book. You know, Bitcoin, whatever it is, something of money. You know, and now he's stabbing Satoshi Sakamoto in the back. I think his book was the very first book on Bitcoin. So let's have a listen to this. Here we go.
It's July. Jesus. But the one thing they don't take account of in Tax Freedom Day is the taxation that Bitcoiners hate so much, inflation, taxation, which is, Milton Friedman described that as taxation without legislation. When I said that 50% figure, it doesn't include taxation via inflation or taxation via the debasement of money.
Because I was thinking about it the other day. I've been going on these long walks with my son, just because we've got nothing to do. And the government allows us one trip out a day, supposedly, and I've been talking to him a lot about this stuff, trying to help him understand it. And I said, look, the problem you've got is right now is that I run a business, and if I make profits, I have to pay tax, and then I pay myself, which I have to pay tax on. And once I've got that money, if I make any investments from what's left over, if those investments make profit, I have to pay tax on it. And then if
Let's just have that one more time here. What is it you do to your son? What is it you subject him to?
Milton Friedman described that as taxation without legislation. When I said that 50% figure, it doesn't include taxation via inflation or taxation via the debasement of money.
Because I was thinking about it the other day. I've been going on these long walks with my son, just because we've got nothing to do. And the government allows us one trip out a day, supposedly, and I've been talking to him a lot about this stuff, trying to help him understand it. And I said,
can you imagine, like, your dad being Peter McCormack, like, trying to help you understand something when he knows absolutely jack shit? I mean, this is absolutely hilarious. I mean, it's gold. I can see, I saw a comment in there from Shelly Mack saying, I'm just going to get rid of this screen here. CoinGeek.com, 200 million stolen, 5 days via DeFi. Oh my goodness me. Let's have a quick look at that then. Here we go. CoinGeek, when it comes up. Oh no, come on, let's have you. There we go. So this will be business, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be business. News category business. It should be all right. I've just had to delete all. Oh, look at this! Just had to delete all my cache, so it might be a little bit slow in loading these pages. Wow. Well, let's have a look at this then. So, business 39 minutes ago, 200 million stolen in 5 days via DeFi. 3 major DeFi exploits have taken place within the last week. This time around, we are seeing DeFi projects on emerging platforms like the Binance Smart Chain. Again, they've lost loads on that. That's well worth a read on in a second. Became the first victim of hacks, exploits, and security breaches. These aren't the first DeFi exploits of 2021. However, they are unlikely to be the last. Meerkat Finance. Oof. On March 4th, Meerkat Finance, a DeFi project launched on the Binance Smart Chain, was the victim of an exploit that drained $31 million from the project. The exploit took place just 1 day after Meerkat Finance launched. Is that actually something to do with like Meerkat Market? Because that's massive. Massive if it is. $31 million stolen. Many believe that the Meerkat Finance attack was a rug pull exit scam. So in other words, they were in on it. An attack in which the creator of the project or the project's team members drained the funds to their own wallets. Shortly after the attack took place, the Meerkat Finance website and Twitter account were deleted. Ooh, I wonder if they were actually related to Meerkat Market or whether they were just like using the name. They might have done. These scammers will do anything to try and get people's trust. That's what it's all about. That's why they call it a confidence game, a con game. Paid Network on March 5th, Ethereum-based project Paid Network was exploited for $160 million. The attacker was able to exploit the Paid Contracts token minting feature to fraudulently mint roughly $60 million worth of paid tokens to their own wallet. Subsequently, the attacker exchanged their newly minted tokens through Uniswap in return for around 2,000 ETH. But again, I mean, if ETH goes to zero, what have they actually got? What have they achieved? Nothing, really. Dodo Finance, the most recent DeFi attack that took place was the Dodo Finance exploit. Dodo Finance is a decentralized, bollocks, exchange that lives on the Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. On March 8th, the Dodo Finance attacker was able to exploit a bug in the Dodo contract that allowed them to fraudulently mint new tokens. The attacker also used flash loans to make the most of their attack. Afterward, the attacker used their illicitly minted tokens and funds from the flash loan to drain the Dodo Finance liquidity pools to the tune of approximately $3.8 million. However, the Dodo Finance team believes that 1.88 million in stolen funds will be recovered. Is that it? I mean, that's about 50%. What, are they cheering themselves on? What about the other 50? That's absolutely ridiculous. Again, this is why we call them shit coins. This is like, these are all the issues that, CSW solved with Bitcoin. Like, this is why you use all these other centralized platforms that are absolute and utter dog shit, and you get this crap on them. And you get all these libertarians cheering them on. Oh, well, that's what we want. Okay, we'll stop complaining then, if you want people to steal your money. Huh. Like, honestly, you couldn't make it up. Shitcoiners, shit for brains. Honestly, I'm sick to death of them. Let's see if we can find this article on Cointelegraph with regard to the Binance Smart Chain hack. I mean, like, literally, it totally undermines credibility. But like I said, these shitcoiners will still be using it, cheering it on because, anti-government and all that rubbish. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can find it. I know that I saw it here. Where's this? More articles. Doge. Huh. Where is it? Might have to type this into Google to find Binance Smart Chain hack. Do one more article. Just having a quick look. Flashman is here. MicroStrategy dismissed market uncertainty. Buys another Bitcoin dip. yeah, they're gonna regret that. Good grief. Is it around here somewhere? Just gonna keep searching for it. If it's not here, let's go to Google and find it. Then here we go. Finance, Smart Chain, Cointelegraph. This is the one. Excellent. Look at this. Binance Smart Chain copycat project loses $31 million in possible rug pull. Really, a rug pull? Is that what you call it? Good grief. At roughly 9 a.m. Universal Central Time today, Meerkat, a decentralized finance DeFi protocol on Binance Smart Chain contract lost $31 million of Binance tokens. While the team initially claimed that they had been the victims of an exploit, they have since deleted all social media channels, and due to the nature of the exploit, some believe the team liquidated and pilfered user funds at a type of scam colloquially referred to as a rug pull. Let me just turn on my tablet again because that's shut down. Hold on, there we go. Back in business. Yeah, I think we're live on this. Just hold your horses, 2 seconds. Yes, live, great. Right, I'm back in the chat, beeps. So a fork of Ethereum native yield vault protocol, Yearn Finances. Meerkat was just a few hours old when the attack drained its vaults. On-chain transactions showed that an address upgraded the Meerkat deployer contract, granting the address permission to liquidate vault holdings. Users have now taken to Binance community channels to report their losses. As of publication, Binance has released no official statement on the loss. Yeah, because they'll be trying to figure out how they can cover it up. As of publication, Binance has released no official statement on the loss. Given Binance's smart chain centralized nature and the lack of privacy preserving a mixture of tools, that's anonymous, illegal things, like Tornado Cash on the chain, some users are hopeful that Binance will be able to track down the responsible party and step in to mitigate the effects of the hack. Teams claims it was a hack, but the transactions don't lead to that conclusion. Dev I talked to who looked at it said this should be catchable at Binance due to the sheer size, 13 million. No decentralized platform that can handle BEP has enough liquidity for that. Oof, so they might get caught. However, Binance is yet to intervene in the Binance Smart Chain traffic in such a manner, despite significant goading in the form of racist yield farming project released last week. Is that right? Racist yield farming project released last week? What? Rug pull or exploit. There is now ongoing cause for concern for Binance Smart Chain users. Last week, an Ethereum native yield vault project Yield was drained of all funds from their stablecoin DAI vault. In a since deleted blog post, the team warned that the exploit was the result of a flaw in the code they'd forked from Yearn, which the Yearn team had since patched. Dozens of other forked projects could be similarly exposed. It's an absolute joke. It is literally an absolute joke. This is why they are shit coins. Utter shit coins, shit coin projects. You know, and these libertarians are going, oh yeah, we don't need government, we don't need regulation. Really? Well, if you don't need regulation, you don't need to complain about this shit, then do you? Because this is what it leads to. It's honestly, like, talk about like living a charmed life. If they're not down with reality, if you think that people we can just govern ourselves, we will do what we want. Well, if people do what they want, they just think short term, they don't work together, they rob each other, and they get nothing done. This is why you need law in a civil society, in order for it to function. Because if people have just got simply short-term options in mind, I don't really care about the future, all I care about is now, I just want it, you're never going to get anywhere and you're never going to progress. This is why shitcoiners shit for brains. Like, I have literally no time for them whatsoever. So, we'll just go back to Twitter here quickly, because obviously you've got people like moaning about the price, but have your coins been stolen? Have you been exit scammed on Binance Smart Chain? Have you lost all your money in one of these other Ethereum shit coins? No, you haven't, because you've got it in the genuine Bitcoin that fixes all these things. So let me just find in one of my retweets where it was to explain this. Oh, got more followers, 1643. Have to delete some of those. Yeah, this was it. Walter White saying, why do I care about BSV price? Because I supported from the start. Because I wanted Bitcoin to be P2P electronic cash for the world. Because I don't diversify. Believing the original vision can crush all the other shitcoins. Yeah, they can. It can. Because I believe Satoshi is a man of his word. Because I believe 3 years is long enough. Actually, we've only had 14 months of the value period on this. To get something to work. Because I'm in debt and I need it to save me. Well, you shouldn't be in debt. That's your responsibility. That's your fault. Because my friends who came to crypto world are now millionaires while I'm still fighting for original Bitcoin and should be rewarded for that. Well, yeah, in time. If you still think BSV price doesn't matter, then F you. I was like, well, look, price follows value, follows utility, follows intelligence. The adding value phase only started 14 months ago on the 1st of January 2020. And think about how many genuine Bitcoin you're now sat on. Then look at the price of BTC and imagine that on steroids soon. Like literally, you know, and I'm still buying as everybody else should be buying and working for it. You know, so if you are still buying, do you want a high price? No, I don't want a high price. I want a low price so I get better value for money for my energies that I'm putting in while I'm accumulating. That's the whole point. You know, and if you're not accumulating, you're hodling and doing nothing for the network. You're not adding value to it. You're meant to be working and earning. You know, adding and contributing to the economy, doing something. Not just sat on your ass bending spoons. You know, hoping like number go up. You know, do something. That is what this is all about. Even if you just want to bide your time, you can bide your time educating. Like I am doing. Getting stuck in. You know, explaining it to people. And on that note, I thought that I would... Oh, actually, just one more thing I did think was really funny. Let's just bring this tweet up from Dave Mullenmer. This was actually really good. So he's pointed out in this article here about the OKX defends, you know, shitcoin. And look at this. So he said, laugh out loud, like, imagine writing this sentence despite knowing that the white paper exists, which they've been promoting. Say, oh, the white paper, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And let's just remind ourselves of that, shall we? We need 2 seconds when we just find it. So we know that it is genuine. It does say Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Around here somewhere, no doubts. Let's go up a little bit further. It'll be here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, check it out. Bitcoin, indeed, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system is what it says. And this was one of their reasons from OKCoin. They said forked networks often come with new features and coins. Bitcoin Cash, the Bitcoin fork launched in 2017, modeled itself after the conviction that Bitcoin should become a kind of digital cash. So is that not what Bitcoin should become? Honestly, like, you couldn't make this up. This is just, it's literally just absolute madness. But shitcoin is shit for brains. That's literally all I can say. So on that note, I'm just going to bring up this picture here. Check it out. This is my book cover. So I have just been writing another chapter of my book today, which I'm now going to read to you, because this is the chapter, like the section on Bitcoin, and I've pretty much managed to kind of like condense the fundamentals of Bitcoin into 3 pages. So I'm just going to have a look at this. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. I mean, I've written quite a lot, but I think I've managed to explain it. So I'm just going to read this and see what it sounds like. I mean, actually, there is a lot here, to be honest with you. yeah, I mean, is it worth it? I mean, I've actually written a lot. I've written an awful lot. Looking at this, crikey, it's amazing how much you can get done when you put your mind to it. Anyway, I've just got to the bit about. I'll read this bit about competition. Yeah. So again, I've questioned it. So I'm going through what Bitcoin is at the moment, and then saying, what about this? What about that? Can I have this in it? And this is the section here on competition. So I've said, how can competition exist? Competition exists in Bitcoin through a process called proof of work. First of all, a transaction is broadcast to the network. The network, being an ultra small world Mandela network, once 51% of the nodes acknowledge the transactions, which happens instantly due to the Mandela structure, the transaction is confirmed and can no longer be reversed, cracked, hacked, altered, changed, or deleted. It is then stored in the memory pool, known as the mempool, for approximately 10 minutes, while the miners / payment processors compete with one another to build, create a block that contains the data in the mempool in order to link and proverbially place it on top of the block that was generated previously. The miner / payment processor that was able to achieve this is rewarded with the Coinbase data known as the block reward, which is another term for freshly minted Bitcoin. So I said, what does competition really mean? Competition means solving SHA256. That is an abbreviation for the secure hash algorithm 2 to the power of 256. Security is based on probability, i.e. the likelihood of something happening, or in this case being solved. SHA256 allows the parameters of the solution to be expanded and contracted dependent on the number of solutions that can be offered at one time. This expanding and contracting of the parameters is known as the difficulty adjustment, and the number of randomly generated solutions is known as the hash rate. The reason they are randomly generated is because SHA256 algorithm uses a cryptographic number. A cryptographic number is non-numeric, which means it starts with a line of zeros, so you can't count to it. The only way to get it is by offering up as many randomly generated combinations as possible and understanding the probability / likelihood of one of them being correct. What's fascinating about SHA256 is that even quantum computers can't just solve it, because quantum computers simply allow for faster generation of combinations. So the difficulty adjustment can be altered accordingly. And since numbers are infinite, the difficulty adjustment can be increased infinitely. It is absolutely essential to have competition between those who economically sustain the network. Without competition, there is collusion, which leads to centralization. This means there must always be new market to compete for, which ties into infinite scalability and a divisible medium of exchange, of which I've explained earlier. How can something that is digital be a commodity? The answer is the supply has to be fixed. If it weren't fixed, then there would be a central source of authority in charge of its supply and could ultimately tamper with it. This is amazing. Bitcoin is brilliant. I can't believe that someone had the foresight and the patience to come up with and create something so genius. So in a nutshell, first of all, there was the release of the white paper. This was the biggest risk Satoshi Nakamoto ever took. If someone else had started the network during the 2-month period, it could have undermined, jeopardized, and ultimately wiped away all credibility of the entire Bitcoin network and wasted all the years of research that had gone into creating and planning this project. I guess this is why Satoshi chose to release the white paper on October 31st, as Halloween provided a distraction to its significance, as well as the build-up to the festive period being the 2 months of the year where people are generally preoccupied with planning and preparation for Christmas and New Year. Secondly, there was using a Japanese pseudonym to divide the starting point into 2 separate entities, one the white paper and secondly the author. And thirdly, there was the stepping back from the network and letting it grow without any central point of authority, control, or influence, which has led to solving the paradox of the centralized starting point and ultimately gives Bitcoin its fundamental value. So then I've said here, after solving the paradox of the centralized starting point, the 5 pillars required for the network to be network to maintain its value are accountability, locked protocol, infinite scale, competition, and fixed supply. Again, this is all in my book, and I've written like way more before that as well. So I think I've done pretty good at kind of just explaining it pretty simply. I mean, that's SHA256 in a nutshell, which I don't think many people would be able to explain that way, even if I do say so myself. So yeah, anyway, I can't see anybody in the chat box at the moment, and I don't know if this thing is being broadcast or anything like that. So we'll leave it there. I'll edit this and then put it straight onto Streamanity. So yeah, as ever. Oh, price has gone up. What's that? 195. Oh no! Oh no! We haven't even actually had a look at the shitcoin market today, have we? Let's have a quick look at this. Here we go. Let's have a quick look at the scaling test network. Anything on there? No, no changes. Whoops. Shitcoin market. Coin darts. Bitcoin pushing, or cool coin pushing 53. Let's have a look at this. So again, I mean, all these shitcoins might be going up, but yeah, I mean, BSV is also going up as well. You know, but I mean, again, all this shit that's going up on all these shitcoins. If you ask me, I think it's just the Fed pumping money into them. You know, trying to, because all they've got to do is try and keep it going. You know, until the block reward keeps. I mean, they can pump money infinitely. So they're just trying to bog it down so that Bitcoin doesn't have any credibility. That's literally all they're trying to do. They're trying to hang in there because we are in the only thing we're in competition with is the block reward halving. That is it. So basically, they're trying to reduce the usage of Bitcoin. So that the miners will eventually collapse and not be able to economically sustain the network. However, they do not know that Satoshi Nakamoto economically sustains the network, you know, and can do it for years and years. And he's got the incentive to do it because if Bitcoin wins, oh my God, the rewards are there. That's what this thing is all about. Oh, Richie Rich in the chat box, and Xcode date there as well. Xcode date, that's a new one. Put your Handcash or Paymail in the chat box. We'll dong that before we wrap up and I edit the show and stuff like that. Let's have also a quick look at Bitcoin Blocks Live on charts. See if there's anything new going on there. I'll see. Look, got that going now. Increasing my technical know-how. Ooh, yeah. Well, you know, keep an eye on that. Remember March 13th, the 4 days. 4 days and we're going to have gigamegs on the main net. It's going to be absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Right, Richie Rich, just opening up my handles for you. Here we go, Richie Rich. Swiping to send on the way. Turning my volume up. Got it. There we go. Xcode, what's your handle, Paymail? Put it in there. That's a new name for me. Yeah, that's not in any of my contacts and stuff. Oh, Shelly Mac was in there earlier. Thank you, Shelly. I'm just going to send one to you as well. Dinging you a dong. Here it comes. Got it. There we go. All right, guys. Yes, what time is it? 6 o'clock, so not quite now. Obviously, hiccups in between that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the show. You know, obviously you can listen to it on YouTube in a week's time, but it is going to be on Streamanity. So, oh, Diddy, well done. All right, popping in to say hello. Great stuff. Thank you very much. There we go. Swiping to send on the way to you, Diddy. There we go. Just in the next time. Right. All right, folks. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there. Joy given. Same time tomorrow. Catch you guys later. Get paid for posting your pics on Relica. Download the app now at www.getrelica.com. Get your tweet etched on Twitch, forever on the Bitcoin blockchain. Do it today at www.jointwitch.com. Buybsv.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Support independent content creators on micropayment platforms such as Streamanity, Twitch and Relica. We should profit from our data, not the large corporations who track, monitor and sell it. If you enjoy the Bitcoin content that I produce, please support me by heading over to www.satoshi.tv, where you can keep up to date with all the latest news, gossip and content as it's created. Thanks very much. To get started in Bitcoin, go to freebsv.com, where you can claim your free Bitcoin. Then head over to Twitter and follow @IamSatoshi, where you can take part in his very generous and world famous free giveaways. The future of advertising meets the power of Bitcoin at Tonic Pow. Get paid for posting advertising campaigns to your social media profiles. Go to www.tonicpowads.com.